Today is the 27th Sunday in Ordinary Time. Our Gospel text is Matthew chapter 21, verses 33 through 43. It's the story of the so-called wicked husbandmen. These are those men who were put in charge of the vineyard and behaved badly. They were dominated by self-interest and greed. When the owner sent his servants to check up on them, to ask for his dividends, the servants were treated badly, violently, at times even killed. Now, we can read this story as an allegory. That is, an allegory has clear references to people and events that the audience will recognize. Or we can treat it as a parable, in which case we are invited to open our minds and our hearts to deeper, richer, different interpretations. I'd like to treat it as a parable. In particular, I would like to listen to the metaphor of the vineyard. What can we hear there for us today? One scripture scholar, writing of the place of the vineyard in the life of the people of Palestine in Jesus' day, says, "Few cultivated crops or plants are so completely dependent on both the careful, skilled work of man and the rhythm of the seasons as the vine." Palestine, land of vineyards, teaches Israel to relish products of the earth, to work wholeheartedly at a task rich in prospect, and yet to look forward to results that are a gift of divine liberality. The vineyard and its potential fruitfulness are gift and task, and therefore a vulnerable enterprise, because human beings are involved. In Psalm 80, verses 8 through 9, we read of the application of this metaphor to Israel herself. "You brought a vine out of Egypt. You drove out the nations and planted it. You cleared the ground for it. It took deep root and filled the land." In Isaiah chapter 5, cited by Matthew in today's Gospel, says, "Let me sing for my beloved my love song concerning the vineyard. My beloved had a vineyard on a very fertile hill. He dug it, cleared it of stones, and planted it with choice vines. He built a watchtower in the midst of it, and hewed out a wine vat in it. Expected it to yield grapes, but it yielded wild grapes." Some scholars translate that as rotten grapes. There is throughout the Hebrew scriptures a tension, a very fundamental, persistent tension between the faithful God, "Do not be afraid, I shall be with you," and the often unfaithful people. Jesus today cites Isaiah, "This people honors me with their lips, but their hearts are far from me." If we extend the metaphor of the vineyard to ourselves as the new Israel, the church is a vineyard. Do we not find that same tension in the vineyard used as a metaphor of us? Because we believe in the incarnation, we expect that God will be with us. God will always be there, ever faithful. No doubt about that. Because we believe in our need for redemption, we must expect self-interest, deceit, greed, scandal to be always there and thereabouts. looking for entry into the vineyard, sometimes finding a home in the vineyard. Coming into the middle of the 20th century, the Catholic Church had this incredible sense of having arrived. We had the answers. We did not need to change. We did not need to ask for forgiveness or apologize. In fact, without knowing it, we were yielding many wild grapes. The Second Vatican Council came as a great awakening. We now are being called. We're slowly beginning to recognize that we're being asked to behave differently, to be a more fruitful vineyard, travel into some uncharted places where only God holds the map. It's as well for us to remember the faithfulness of God. Don't be afraid. I am with you.